Well, thank you very much for the invitation. We are, Corpus Coranicum was founded in this, was set in 2007. It will last another 2-3 years. It was the idea to set up a data set of research data about the history of the Quran on different levels. And I will guide you a little bit through this data. I have way too many slides. Don't be afraid, I will jump a lot. One thing should be pointed out, we were among the first purely digital projects in the academy program. The academy program is something, perhaps it needs to be said here, in the German context, we have universities and we have academies of sciences. As you know, universities do research and teach. The academies are purely for research. And since a couple of years, also, we are bound to publish digitally. So we have the same type of funding, federal plus the individual state. That's why we, Berlin Brandenburgische Academy, and our offices are in Potsdam. This is our new web interface, the publication after 2 years of restructuring. This is online since March. You can explore it under corpuscoranicum.de. So here you see the 4 types of, I leave you this, we are based in Potsdam. I skip through this quickly in a nondescript building. There's nothing exciting. You can see here offices. It does not react. Maybe it's. This might be the only item of our library that is a distinct item. I have collected since 2007 print editions in Arabic of the Quran because there is this misleading idea of a standard edition from Saudi Arabia and Egypt. There's no such a thing. Every Quran is different, as we say, and this is documented in our collection of print edition from the modern world. But this is not very essential to the project. Let's start with the fields where we are. One important item is actually the central item, at least in the eyes of our funding authority, the board of the academies, the union of the academies. It's a database of the most ancient manuscripts of the Quran. We have developed also we have developed also a special mode of digital edition of the fragments that are on display. Currently there are more than 25,000 images. You can look for them by the ayah and also according to the collection. So this is a kind of ground research to enable philological work. We have items as much as we could take care of. This is from Sana'a, very fairly ancient. This is a Tübingen manuscript, famous because we have carbon dated it. It turned out to be much more ancient than it was believed to. So the idea is to present the object and also a kind of description. This is for a limited number of items also. So far we have only some 2,000 pages of transliteration. It's more important, I believe, to prepare the ground. This is an explanation. I will jump a little bit and get to an item that we will explore in the afternoon a bit more carefully with Edin Mahmutovic, who has been working in our project for a serious number of years. It's the idea to present qira'at of the Quran in chronological order. I skip this now. You can find it on our website. The distinction between us and other data sets about qira'at is that we list them in chronological order, number one. We present them in Latin transcription. That's a choice, maybe a Eurocentric choice might be. But I find the sound chain is better to be treated with if you have a script system where the letters are one after the other, where you don't change up and down and the reading line. The third remark contains the reference. Usually data sets about variant readings are following the principle of authority. They would give you a name for the variant reading. In the early sources, you have items like yukra, man qara'a. So you have anonymous readers, especially Sibawai, Muqatil, Kitab al-Ain, al-Akhfash al-Awsat. So this needs to be taken into account. By the canonical period, all the variant readings, at least the canonicals, they get names. But we are eager to explore the time before. Manuscripts, variant readings. We jump now to another data set that is labeled in German Texte aus der Umwelt des Korans, texts from the world of the Quran. It's the idea to present a kind of textual context cloud around the Quran. It's an enterprise that we have started digitally. It's still developing. We cover a number of entries in different languages. The idea is not of a kind of copy-paste show. The Quran is copy-pasted. It's a bit the opposite. We provide background to understand the gist of the message. Yes, we have set up, of course, this is not to be seen. We have a data set for our people where we share data. It's important also with regard to what Maxime has presented. Digital work, digital publishing forces you to use completely different mindset of approaches. You have to use formal criteria. You have to be able to split up work and so on. So actually we have 4 data sets, principal data set, which is the manuscript catalog. We have textual variants, qira'at. We have another data set about texts from the environment of the Quran. And we have a commentary which is written by Angelika Neuwirth and Dirk Hartwig. It is traditionally published in the shape of a book. The last volume just came out a year ago by Dirk Hartwig and Angelika Neuwirth. But also it is mirrored in the digital shape. So we have 4 levels and one target. It's the historical inquiry of the Quranic text. The first 3 data sets, of which I'm happy to be editor-in-chief, and also I could luckily set them up together with a quite powerful IT department of our academy named Déborah. The first 3 provide data. They do not offer you a solution. We believe that it's very important to provide data and to provide it democratically, to say it in our media type, digitally, because then the discussion can start. You all remember what has happened to the Sana'a manuscripts, where you have this Da Vinci Code ideas that knowledge is locked up. It's never beneficial. I have published a lot of stuff, maybe sometimes a bit too early, but at least the stuff is there and can be discussed. So, this is the 4 tasks, 1 goal, and 4 sideway tracks, which is, sorry for being in German here, I'm reusing slides to be honest, but I'm happy and thank you for your patience. It means cultural heritage. So actually what we are doing is we take care of preservation, digital preservation, making cultural heritage accessible. Secondly, we are an interdisciplinary project. We can only work because of international cooperation in Western countries, but especially, and I'm very happy of this, with some partners and institutes in the Middle East. And last but not least, our credo is linked to open access. Open access is a is a necessity in our day. I have a technical question. How much time is left? 3 minutes. Good. So I will focus on interdisciplinarity. Number one, we have carried out and are still continuing to carry out calculating, because paleography in Quranic studies is still in its beginnings. As you all might know, paleography is always a bit subjective. Shapes of letters. There is the idea that when the shape changes, you are later. Is that true or not? We don't know. So since 6 years, we are working closely with colleagues of the ETH, the Zurich University, the lab for carbon dating. We are continuing, Ali Arai, who happens to be here, and we have just published one. Where is it out? Yeah, it's out, okay. Okay. We could do a campaign, and I jump now to the slides of, this is what it requires, you all know this, and we are dating the writing surface and not the ink. I'm looking to him because I'm getting now a red light. There are other ways of natural sciences that could be involved, which is ink analysis, but then you don't have a date. You can see which ink has similar components, but you don't get a date. I want to stop with Qatar. Yes, actually, this was last year. They asked us to publish digitally and to catalog all their 86 ancient Qurans. They are online on our site. And maybe we stop with another very important item under the label of Iran Quran, Ali Arai's project that we were happy to host in Berlin. We are continuing also for digital issues, and we could, for instance, discuss our work with Iranian colleagues, and we could digitize all the parchment manuscripts from the National Museum of Iran in Tehran. Carbon dating included. The article is out. I was just told. So I stop here. Thank you very much.